I'm incredibly proud. I'm devastated. I'm really offended. I'm so upset. I'm completely bewildered. So you might have guessed what today's lesson is about. Yes, we're talking about feelings. Are you sick and tired of using the adjective happy, sad, or angry? Would you like to learn some new, more precise words to describe how you're feeling in all situations? Well, let's go ahead and get into it. First, let's have a conversation about feelings. I feel really miserable. Why? Because I was sick last week and I still don't have that much energy, and that's kind of got me feeling down. I'm sure you'll perk up soon. Yeah, I'm pretty fed up with feeling like this, but I'm optimistic I'll get out of this funk pretty soon. I'm actually quite grateful that I could still work even while I was sick. I'm actually shattered at the moment myself. I've been working so hard. Oh really? Do you have a lot of work? Yeah, to be honest, I'm feeling a little bit overwhelmed, but it's okay because I'm going on holiday soon. Oh, I'm delighted for you. Are you going anywhere nice? As a matter of fact, yes. I'm actually going to Fiji for 2 weeks. Fabulous! I know, I'm thrilled. I actually won it in a competition. I was stunned when they told me I had won. I've never won anything in my life. I can imagine I would be completely gobsmacked if I won something like that. Yes, but the only thing is, I'm a little apprehensive of the flight. I'm actually scared stiff of flying. I'm completely astonished because you fly so often. Yeah, but not so far. The longer the flight, the more chances for something to go wrong. Oh, you're worried about nothing. Did you know that flying is the safest form of travel? Thanks, but I'm not feeling reassured. All the same, I'm willing to put up with the flight for 2 weeks of feeling blissful in the tropical sun. I'm happy for you. You'll have a ball. Just a reminder that all this vocabulary with the examples plus the grammar you're going to see and the quizzes are in a handy PDF to download or print. Link is in the description below. Now we're going to try some pronunciation with some of those adjectives you just saw in the conversation. So I want you to listen to me and then repeat after me. Good luck. Devastated. I was devastated when my dog died. Offended. She was offended I didn't come to the wedding. Miserable. I felt miserable when I had the flu last week. To feel down. Sarah felt down after her boyfriend broke up with her, but she's beginning to perk up now. Fed up. I'm fed up of my job. You can also say fed up with my job. Let's try that again. I'm fed up of my job. To be in a funk. Don't be in such a funk. It's not the end of the world that you can't go to the concert. Shattered. I was shattered after the marathon. Overwhelmed. Peter was overwhelmed with all the work he had to do. Stunned. I was stunned when I received the nomination for student president. Reassured, reassured. His kindness reassured me that there were still good people out there. Okay, that's the end of the pronunciation. Now let's take a look at some grammar. If you can understand me in this video, you are at a good level to join me in my Fluency Club. If you want to become fluent, you are going to have to speak more, and this is the perfect opportunity for you to do it. It's a conversation club for upper intermediate and advanced speakers of English. The groups are small and you get a chance to speak on all sorts of topics. You are given pre-reading to help you prepare for the topics. There are post-class notes with your corrections, and the classes are recorded. Why not try it for 1 month and see how it goes? There are 5 classes a week and the total cost is less than €3 per class. Link in the description below. In today's grammar lesson, we're going to take a look at unreal conditional sentences. So this is the second and the third conditionals. Let's take a look. Do you remember this? I can imagine I would be completely gobsmacked if I won something like that. In that clip, I was using the second conditional. Here's a reminder of how you form the second conditional. If plus past simple, and then would and wouldn't plus the infinitive. Note that we can also use the past continuous instead of the past simple, and that we can use could or might instead of would. So we use the second conditional to talk about things in the future that are probably not going to be true. Like maybe I'm imagining some dream scenario. For example, if it didn't rain, I'd do some gardening. So the forecast says it's going to rain, so the chances of gardening are very low. So we're talking about the future here. Next, if I studied, I'd probably pass the exam. So let's say the exam is tomorrow and you haven't studied, so you probably won't pass the exam. So it's a kind of an unreal scenario. It's too late to study. Now we can also use the second conditional to talk about something in the present which is impossible because it's not true. For example, if I had Paul's number, I would call him. So I don't have Paul's number, so I can't call him. Or if I were Sarah, I'd go for that job interview. The fact is you are not Sarah, so it's not possible for you to do this. Did you notice in the last sentence I say, if I were Sarah? Why don't I say, if I was Sarah? So when if is followed by the verb be, it is grammatically correct to say were. If I were, if he were, if she were, if it were. However, it is also common to hear these structures with was, especially in the he, she, or it form. For example, we can say, if I were you, that's the most common. If I were you, I wouldn't mention it. Or if she were or if she was Prime Minister, she would invest more money in schools. Another example, he would travel more if he was younger. Or you can say if he were younger. The third conditional is used to imagine a different past. We imagine a change in a past situation and the result of that change. I call this the regret tense. This is an unreal tense because the event is in the past. We can't change the past. But in hindsight, or looking back, if the condition had been different, the outcome would also have been different. So we form the third conditional like this. If plus past perfect, would or wouldn't, have plus the past participle. And we can swap those two phrases around. So some examples are, if I had understood the instructions properly, I would have passed the exam. So the exam is finished. The result cannot be changed. This is a regret. Next example, we wouldn't have got lost if my phone hadn't run out of batteries. In fact, we got lost because my phone ran out of battery. This cannot be changed, but I regret not having charged my phone more. So we can also actually mix the second and third conditionals if the hypothetical situation in the past has a present or a future consequence. I'll give you an example. If you had caught the plane, so this is in the past, if you had caught the plane, you would be here now. So it has a present consequence. You would be here now. Or for another example, if he really loved you, he would have asked you to marry him. So we use the past simple and the would have past participle. So we mixed the two tenses. These are tricky tenses and I want you to practice them. So now I want you to do the quiz where I will test your knowledge of not only the vocabulary that you learned today, but also the conditionals you just learned. All right, let's go. So how'd you go in the quiz? Did you do all right? If not, go back to the lesson and learn the vocabulary and the grammar again and try the questions again. Thank you so much for joining me in this lesson, and I hope you learned some new words and also reviewed some of your grammar. Now, I'm going to leave you with a final question. I'd like you to finish this sentence and put your answers in the comments below so I know you've watched this video to the very end. Your sentence is, if I were fluent in English. Now, what's the end of that sentence? If I were fluent in English, in the comments below. Thanks and see you in the next lesson.